This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Not even the dogs that piss against the walls of Babylon shall escape the wrath I come to pour. And I shall burn them and burn them continuously, for they never cease to oppress the poor.
Talking Heads Fifth Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, City of Hope, Fine Threads, Jazz in the Gardens, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, Collect, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, Percy's Island Games, Pindertile, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
But still I fear no foe, no. Cause now is not the time to sleep or turn the other cheek. Cause the wicked in a Babylon stew ya if you're weak. Whoa, plead my cause, oh Jah, and let me stand firm when the wicked rise against the eye. And order my steps, oh Jah, the way is dark and I'm alone. But still I fear no foe, no. Such a me got me sword, be my shield on the battlefield. Head on, the wicked I go feel it. We will take the stand against the ones who oppress us, and by every means we just...
Who got it locked and loaded to the Wednesday, February 19th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and your company right up until 6 p.m. 4:14 p.m. is the time right now on this Wednesday edition. I got special guests in studio. Got Mr. Matt Aubrey from Org. He'll be joining us in short order. And like I said, we're going to be talking, some very important things that Org and initiatives that Org has going on right now. So we're definitely looking forward to that conversation. That'll be coming up in short order. But before, I get to all of that, I got to do my due diligence. I gotta make sure read what they pay me to read. And definitely got to big up NRG, Energy Nutrition. Check out their world-famous smoothies, signature quinoa dishes, best salads and breakfast fit for a king and a queen. And I get a test of that, and they got some great food down there. Open for breakfast, lunch, and now for dinner. Each order made with love, the highest quality ingredients, and is nutritionally balanced. 2 great locations to take care of you. Old Fort Bay open until 7:30 p.m. And West Bay Street, right there on the Cable Beach Strip above the Henrietta Carletta Plaza. On the 2nd floor, open until 4 p.m. And let me tell you something. If you like a tuna sandwich, check out the tuna sandwich at Energy. They say it's the best tuna sandwich. It is. Off the chain. The smoothies off the chain as well, too. MJ's a big fan of them. But like I say, big up to the crew out there at Energy Nutrition. And don't forget, you can follow them on Instagram and Facebook at NRG Bahamas. All right? Don't forget, March 1st is around the corner, and Collect the Beer of the Bahamas invites you to Victory Fest 2025. Join Collect on Saturday, March 1st at Smuggler Square for an epic celebration of the 2024 Boxing Day and 2025 New Year's Day Junkanoo winners, the Saxon Stars. The Junkanoo season may be over, but the celebration is just getting started with Collect. Enjoy music by Playhouse DJs Little Giant and DJ Tank, performing live Fanchon and D-Mac. So let's celebrate the 4 straight Junkanoo winners, the Saxon Superstars, with Collect at Victory Fest, March 1st, Smuggler Square. And don't forget, 242 Days coming up on Monday, February 24th. This and every 24th of February, the 24th day of the second month, 242. Show your Bahamian pride, fly your Bahamian flags, wear Bahamas flag colors. Eat Bahamian foods, create and listen to Bahamian music, donate in sequences of 242, do something 242 times. But I'm sure I'll breathe 242 times, God spare life throughout that day, so I think I got that covered, Merchants consider pricing items at $2.42, $24.20, or $242. Let's keep it below the $242, all right? That's how fun with that, but keep it, affordable. All right, so now that that's out of the way, if you want to chime in, if you got any comments for our guest today, here's how you chime in if you want to be a talking head.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
Text lines powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Toll free in any one of the Family Islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Stream us live. Take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. BTCFlow.com. Cable channel 969, BTC Flow channel 612. That's how you get it in. That's how you get it on for fresh news, smart talk all day right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Flip side of the break, we're going to get into it, into the conversation, that is. With my good friend, Mr. Matt Aubrey from Org. Yes, Org Bahamas. And like I said, he's got guests in studio as well. We'll get caught up with Matt and the new initiatives coming up. So keep it right where you got it. That's all going down on the flip side of the break as the Wednesday, February 19th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
I'll never say what they daddy just say. For Emperor Selassie, I trust and obey. Rasta words of your substance. I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do. Cause Rastafari give all the guidance. I'll never say what the wicked heart say. Neither will I walk in the council no day. All the earth be no God, so
Naughty Johnny's restaurant can only be described as the experience you want to recreate again and again and again. Their motto is simple food done well. You're welcome into their home at Naughty Johnny's, where you can dine on crack conch fritters, and other Bahamian favorites. There's also an international flair that's guaranteed to offer something for everyone. Enjoy a good meal and listen to a live band on their patio Friday and Saturday nights, or brunch on Saturday and Sunday, only at Naughty Johnny's restaurant in the Old Town Plaza, Old Fort. They're open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday. Naughty Johnny's, well worth the
John's Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles, with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. Is your place, is your place.
The KFC chicken experts have done it again with the new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich, featuring a large 100% premium 120-gram white meat filet topped with cheddar cheese, smoky bacon, lettuce, tomato, and tangy red onion, all drizzled with ranch sauce and served on a toasted brioche bun. Choose original recipe or spicy, but don't wait. This mouth-watering masterpiece is only here for a limited time and only at your favorite KFC. The new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
It's time for the buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
Not even the dogs that piss against the walls of Babylon shall escape the wrath I come to pour. And I shall burn them and burn them continuously, for they never cease to oppress the poor. Oh, please, my cause, oh Jah, and let me stand firm when the wicked rise against the eye. Order my steps, oh Jah. The way is dark and I'm alone, but still I fear no foe, no. 'Cause now is not the time to sleep or turn the other cheek. 'Cause the wicked in a Babylon stew ya if you're weak. Whoa.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, February 19th edition of Talking Heads. Boy Naughty and your company right up until 6 p.m. We're into the buzz, all brought to you, of course, by John's Shoes. Got my special guest today from Org, Mr. Matt Aubrey, no stranger to the show. And I see you brought guests, so I'll let you do the introductions. But what's going on, Matt? Good to see you.
Great to be here. Thanks so much for having us.
Nice tie, buddy.
Thank you. You know I didn't pick it.
Yeah.
The whole credit goes to my wife.
Good job.
I'm here with Ariana Wells, who is our engagement lead at Org, and we're here to talk about a really exciting program that we're going to be launching and working on over the next number of months. As folks would know, Org is a not-for-profit, and we push and promote free good governance. And a lot of times you'll hear us talking, particularly on this show, about things like freedom of information and integrity commissions and things like bills and laws that promote transparency and accountability.
I know you're in the loop there, Matt. What's the latest on the Freedom of Information Act?
Well, interestingly enough, what we know is today Parliament is debating two bills that are looking at targeting anti-corruption. One, which is the Independent Commissions of Investigations bill, which sets up a more independent mechanism to deal with when folks bring forward allegations, as well as something called the Protected Disclosures bill, which is really a whistleblower's bill, and they're debating that right now. What we know is, again, these things could pass, and we have a lot of these bills that have passed and sit on the books, but if they're not enacted, we don't see what the results were intended. And the key, what we realize at org, is that comes from educated and engaged citizens. So we spend a lot of time not just talking about policy, but going out into the community, meeting with folks, listening to them, helping them to learn citizens' skills of active citizenship and participation. But through that process, what we've realized is that there's some challenges out there, and a lot of folks are very skeptical. We know that in the world and in the Caribbean region and here in the Bahamas, that public trust is an issue, that having trust in government is something that is on the decline. Matter of fact, in the debate today, both the opposition and the government acknowledge that, in fact, public trust is eroding and needs to be reestablished. So we know that it's also challenging to just tell somebody, hey, trust us. And so building trust is key to citizen participation, but it has to be done in a very important way. And what we understand that to be is making sure that people have the capacity and the skills to understand the information that's going on within government, the way that information is being brought forward, how government is spending its money, how government operates.
Now, I thought there was going to be a course in there for government ease. What they mean. How many times have they misspoken and backtracked and sometimes gaslit and so on and so forth?
So we figured we would start with the easier part of that, which is the objective information
there you go.
that's
right.
put out there.
Forgive my sarcasm,
No.
Matt, but you know how I feel on this whole topic. Boy, I tell you, we've been waiting too long for it.
But we sit and we think about this 365, 24/7 at org, and we realize that there are ways to start to build and change things. So what we're working on is built on not only global but regional research that says, hey, this is how this stuff gets done. As you know, org's been here. This is our 10th year, so we're in it for the long run, and we work on how we make changes that are going to change the long time and sustainable future of the Bahamas. So part of that process has been, how do you then build people's skills to understand a system, and it is going where they are. So we spent last year doing a lot of work going into communities on 10 different islands and bringing information and listening to folks and bringing that information back and sharing it as publicly as we can. But one of the projects that worked last year that we were really proud of was a pilot, and it was called Be Clear Bahamas. I'm going to turn it to Ariana to talk a little bit about what that project was, what it meant, and what it means for what we're doing now going forward.
Sure. So the Be Clear Bahamas pilot was a 10-week program that we ran in collaboration with the Leadership Academy. And we worked with students that were between grade 10 and grade 12. And we taught them about fiscal literacy, media literacy, digital literacy, understanding credible sources, and all of this with the intention of them being able to better contribute and to build their capacity to contribute to making informed decisions. And now what we've done with this program is we've condensed it and turned it into a 1-hour presentation on fiscal transparency and fiscal literacy. So you can actually book a session with org for us to come in and teach you or your group about fiscal literacy. And we're particularly focusing on the government budgeting process because there are 5 stages to the government budgeting process that a lot of people don't know about and aren't educated on. And they need to be in order for them to make more informed contributions. And that actually goes back to public trust. Why are we doing this? Because we want to bridge the gap between public trust, between government and the people.
And that's a pretty big gap that we have to bridge right now.
And it starts
if you listen to Joe Public right now,
right? But it starts with we see the back and forth between the political parties and the rhetoric. And the truth is that's kind of where this comes from, is how does the person on the street know if government says, hey, we're all going to do this work on renewable energy, and the opposition says nothing's being done on renewable energy, how do you then, for your own sense, find out where do we really lie? What are the real facts about it? Where the rubber meets the road is in the money, is in the numbers, so that we know there are lots of information that is provided out by statute. We see a budget. We're about to get into the mid-year budget. The government is supposed to put forward quarterly and monthly financial reports. But the person on the street that just gets that information when it is made available may not understand why it's provided, what it really means, and the structure. So we want to help people to understand the basic building blocks so that they can be more aware and help to make their own decisions as to whether they think something is positive, negative, and then ultimately make contributions to those folks that they've elected to represent them.
First of all, I have to commend you for getting it in the schools at an early age, because that obviously gets the wheels turning a lot earlier. And, for lack of a better word, you can identify BS a lot sooner and call it out. But I like that because it is teaching a younger generation of voters that we need how to be, responsible and taking all the information to make the best decision moving forward for them and obviously for the country. And then additionally, like I said, it's great to know that you're breaking down segments that Joe Public needs to know, because a lot of times, like you said, you get these 3-4 page reports in the paper, a lot of numbers, what does it really mean?
Right. And that we started, if you remember, we started doing what we call freedom schools early on when we first got started, and that brought a lot of civic education into the community. How does government work? What are the 3 parts of government? What is the role of an MP? How do we provide feedback to them? What are some of the ways we could be better advocates? How do you write a letter or have a conversation with your MP to let them know about an issue you're concerned of, or an idea that you might have, or something that needs to be addressed in your community? And that helped a lot of folks to start to get involved. But we also saw that right now, when you're reading the headlines and you're hearing Party A say something about Party B, you can get a little overwhelmed. And some folks, the reaction in a time when you're not feeling so optimistic is you step back and you give up that potential power that your voice might have. So our goal is really to help facilitate folks to get involved, to get informed, to make sure that they have an opportunity to make a difference in their community. But you need to understand the rules of the game. And Be Clear is really around how do we understand some of the basic rules of how things are run. Things can be said in one forum or another, but when you go and look at the numbers, if somebody said, hey, we're going to make sure we pass freedom of information and make it a real thing, and you go to the budget and you see the numbers under freedom of information, you might say, okay, I really believe that's going to happen, or that doesn't seem like enough money to maybe make this real. And that's where you can now start to use your voice to make a difference.
And I'm glad that, you're teaching people how to use their voice as well, too, because sometimes people use their voice, and it could be more effective if they wait or if they had better grasp of the information. So I think this is several bridges you're connecting, Matt, that has to be commended. And how have the young people taken it to it as far as the presentations go?
I think that anything to do with fiscal literacy is going to be difficult at first, but finding ways to make the information engaging has been it's been easy over time. We had a lot of guest speakers come in, notably Governor John Roll was one of our guest speakers. So the kids got to interact with him. And of course, that's a wonderful experience for them because they're now meeting someone that's title is the governor. And we had Matt come in at one point too, and Matt is always super engaging. So we find creative ways to get young people to understand the information. And I just want to be clear that, you see what I did there? The Be Clear program that we're running now, the 1 hour sessions, is not only limited to young people. So we're also reaching out to
I was going to ask, if older voters want to get caught up and say, some of these things have always confused me, I want to have a better grasp on it.
Yes, definitely. They're welcome to.
That's awesome.
So we're going to do a personalized Be Clear for you. We're going to set it up.
Just me by myself. That's me, you, Matt, and the org team, MJ, and we'll make it happen. We'll have a good session. But, and MJ probably get it one shot.
I was going to say,
I'm be like, where's the abacus?
We might have MJ do the presentation.
Yeah, where's the abacus? Come, break that out. Let's make this happen. But it is important, though, because like I said, it all connects to Freedom of Information Act, Procurement Act, Fiscal Responsibility Act, so on and so forth. I want to know what the government's spending. I want to know why you spend it. If you give me a good enough reason and I have the information there, I'll shut up. I got you.
And that's the biggest.
Or if it's egregious and it's like, hold on, Houston, we got a problem. Let's talk. Well, what's all of this?
Right. Data makes a difference, right? Understanding the real numbers and be able to speak for what's on paper helps. And the biggest leap we do see, though, is the belief that you can make a difference. And so helping folks and encouraging that, because people become very skeptical. We've all incurred trauma from whether we went through Dorian or we all went through COVID. We have a lot of questions about what's going on and how things are being led, whether this administration, the last administration, the administration before that, all have not necessarily been able to crack the safe on how we fix this place. And so when you get to that point, a lot of people really do feel like, you know what, I'm going to throw my hands up and I guess there's nothing really to be done. But if we can start to give people feeling that they have skills, that their roles are meaningful, that their voice can make a difference, well, that changes a lot. And it means that a law that might be on the books, then there can be a greater call for it to be fully enforced or fully enacted. A law that hasn't been on the books and people are empowered to say, hey, we need to represent this, they can push forward. We see things like the Disabilities Act that were put forward that had some very passionate people helping to put forward, making sure that the Bahamas moved into a space that was representative and inclusive. And the distance from when we passed it to where we are, not enough has happened. We need to make sure that people are able to say, things that I care about that affect me and my family day to day, we understand what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, or if they say it's going to happen and there's no information or money behind it, what we need to do to make sure that it kicks in.
Let's get to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty.
Afternoon, how are you?
Welcome. Sound like you're feeling better.
Yes, back at it again. Back in the saddle.
And good afternoon to your guest, Mr. Aubrey.
Good afternoon.
You know, I love when he comes on because, you know, it tells me that there's a lot in this country that needs to be done, because when you hear his voice, that means it's not getting done. You know, I want to ask him a question. It may be of a personal view, but I just want to know his view on it. If the way you guys are asking and going about, not just you, but the rest of us are asking for the Freedom of Information Act to be passed, do you feel, I know personally now, do you feel like the government, or we're talking about the government today, we know the other stuff, they already passed, their time for this has passed, we're talking about today's government.
Right.
Do you feel like there's not enough funds for this to pass, or do you think that the level of secrecy is so high that they don't want to be exposed, or what is the hold up on pushing this forward is my question.
That is a great question, and you set me up perfectly. So thank you so much for calling and asking that. First and foremost, we're actually doing a lot of public education around freedom of information at this time as well. Ariana and some of our engagement folks are going out and talking about this in the community. So please check us out on our Facebook and our website at orgbahamas.com to find out when the next session is, because we are coming to communities to do that, so that we'll be able to get everybody up to speed with what freedom of information is, what the status of it is, and what needs to be done. But in the short answer to your question, we see that actually a lot has been done to date. Usually these types of policies take about 3 to 5 years before they come forward. We're now working on 7th into the 8th year. However, we also know there's other Caribbean countries that are even farther behind us and have a longer period between when the law was passed and it still isn't enacted. So we're not the worst, but we definitely aren't the best here. But we have an information commissioner in an office in place. We have public statements about the 10 agencies that would start this off.
Don't get me started on the information commissioner.
We have all the regulations that have been drafted, but they need to be passed. We also know that there needs to be money allocated to make sure that freedom of information is fully enacted. We need to know that there's money to be training the folks in government so that they can learn a new system, that the technology that's been identified and vetted can be brought forward, and that there's a lot of resources for public education for the citizens to understand how they could use this law, what it is, what it isn't. It's not a silver bullet for everything. So why government hasn't moved on it, why successive governments haven't moved on it, I couldn't speak to the specifics, but you generally would think that this is a more difficult process for any new government coming in, and the potential push to make it happen might risk lots of things: information, secrecy, comfort, political votes, anything. What needs to make it happen, though, fundamentally, besides funding, besides passage of those regulations, is for this government or any government to see that it is a priority to the people. So what we're coming out and talking to folks about is let your MP know that this is something you want prioritized in this budget. It was estimated that about $1 million was what was needed to be put forward. Last year in the budget was $140,000. And that highlights the critical importance of this program we're talking about with Be Clear, because if you can hear it said in one instance, but you go and look at the numbers that are being proposed, you have a good sense that they're not really serious about this, and that needs to change. So if enough folks from the constituencies speak to the MPs, they're going to be armed with what they're supposed to do, is come out and represent you in Parliament. They need to represent the interests of their communities on national interests. So this is an opportune time, because the budgets are being formed, to go and share your ideas that, in fact, freedom of information and making sure everybody gets a fair shake, and that information about how your money is being spent should be yours. This is the time.
All right, I got a couple of texts off the text lines for you, Matt. Naughty, good afternoon. Great show as usual. Please ask Matt Aubrey for me if the Freedom of Information Act was tabled from 2017, and Oregon has been advocating for this for nearly 10 years, if not more. What's the real delay? The real delay. This act has changed government hands more than any bill I know, Naughty.
Well, it goes back even further. 2012 was the first passage of a Freedom of Information Act, but it was never enacted. The next administration took it, thought they reviewed it, made some changes, did some consultation, and again, it was passed in 2017. It was never enacted, though. So it was tabled and passed, but never enacted. Portions of it were enacted. A whistleblower's part, the dispersal of the dismissal of the previous act, and the ability to hire an information commissioner. Contrary to Naughty's feelings on this, the information commissioner and his team over the last couple of years have done work
Only one
to prepare.
quote, Matt. Only one quote. Only one quote.
What we do see, though, is that what they've queued up from our understanding, and we've seen that, is the regulations that are necessary to put this in place, the training that is necessary to put this in place, the plan to make it come to fruition. These have all been developed, but they need the resources and the passage of those pieces of legislation. So what has really held it up is probably what holds it up in almost every government, is that this is not something that government on its own may prioritize. But if the citizens say this is a priority, there's a movement for public will to push political will.
All right, here's another one for you off the text lines. Naughty, I feel your guest can do more. His organization can get the public more involved by creating petitions to force the government to do right by the people.
We love those kind of statements, and folks are more than willing to partner with us. We are a small team of 5 doing a whole lot of work, but we treasure and value volunteers. So if you want to get involved, check us out on social media, on LinkedIn or on Facebook or on Instagram. Reach out to us through our website, contact us. We have lots of opportunities for volunteers, and we like to work in partnership. So if there's some initiatives you feel like we could be doing, great. I will also point out that we are a not-for-profit. And so if you really want to help us too, feel free to make a donation. We'll make sure we use that donation as effectively as possible to make a difference.
Support Matt and support org. Nickels, dimes, quarters, dollars, however.
We do a lot with a little.
Yeah, man. But no, I get that some people, and there again, I don't want people to get confused that, oh, well, Matt, you could put a petition together, correct? But I mean, once you put said petition together, it's got to be delivered, and then it's got to be taken up by someone in the administration.
And that's the long game, right? So, and we learned that when we're now 10 years old. When we first came out, it was about getting this bill passed. And we did a lot. We mobilized 20 different organizations. We put together lots of resources, and everybody got this over the line. We were so excited. There was input that we had. Didn't reflect all of our input. And then people went back to their corners. And the truth is, any one organization, org or any other not-for-profit, has potential capacity to make a difference, and we do. But in order to make that difference stay and stick, it's got to be broader. It's got to be more folks at the table. We want to make sure that what we're doing now is getting lots of people involved, that everyone here feels that they have a role. A petition has not necessarily been as effective in past. We've seen these put forward, whether it be environmental petitions or not. But if we can get to folks and help them to feel that they have comfort and safety in raising their voices in a large way, then you start to see change that's going to sustain. So our goal is the long term. Not to dismiss that petitions or other mechanisms could be effective, but it needs to be done in a coordinated and a sustained way where everyone knows what we're doing, what the role is, has had an opportunity to decide that this is what they feel as a priority, and also are exchanging their views directly to those folks that have been selected to represent them in Parliament.
Go back to the text lines. A couple of things. Good afternoon, Naughty. They said there were 1 million pounds of kerosene in that rocket that landed in Exuma. Listen, my biggest thing is, and I don't want to get sidetracked yet, where did it land? Did it land safely? Did it land out of harm's way? Did it mess up the national park down there in Exuma? Did it mess up the segment of Exuma that is known for whale migration and a natural habitat to whales? I mean, come on. Let's know, and we don't get a dime for it? See why we need a Freedom of Information Act? See why we need a Fiscal Responsibility Act? Because why? Why are we doing this for the free and risking so much? But if you ask, you can't get those answers.
And we see it as a social contract that exists between citizens and government. And it needs to be two-way. The concept of giving information ahead of time shouldn't be the exception. It should be the norm. Having mechanisms that if you have questions, a lot of the scientists are asking, hey, what kind of considerations? They don't understand necessarily what's been done, but if they had access to it ahead of time, they might understand the level of risk. They might understand how they need to advocate, or they might be online with the kinds of decisions that were made and understand what the outcome is. But when there's no information, then it's up to speculation, and that doesn't help us to solve or straighten anything out in a long term.
Let's go back to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty, good evening, man.
Hey, what's happening, bro?
Oh, that's right, my brother. In regard to this situation with, what's the name of the company?
Which company are you talking about now?
Elon Musk company.
SpaceX?
Same shuttle thing and all that.
Which one is company? SpaceX? X? Amazon? Which one?
Starlink. But the same thing with they launched.
What about his ratchet, no manners little son? Cursing all through the White House.
Okay, right. The first thing we need to know is the environmental stuff that will happen to the Bahamas, right? Did they find out why the U.S. didn't allow them to do it anymore? Land them on the U.S. coast on the Gulf of Mexico?
I'm sure they had a conversation. I'm sure lunch was purchased. I'm sure here we are.
Exactly. And if the U.S. as the biggest country in the world, economic country in the world with all their resources, tell them they can't have that there no more. How could our little country, you understand, survive if anything happens of a fallout? You understand?
This kind of reminds me of like the whole oil drilling situation. I mean, it's a slippery slope. You don't want to sell out your future for a quick cash in the present. And I'm thinking the long-term damage of these rockets either launching or landing in our archipelago is going to be detrimental, especially somewhere as pristine as Exuma, with a lot of natural beauty and a lot of habitats for our wildlife and ecosystems and food chains. Making me scratch my head, man. It's making me scratch my head.
You took me to my next point, right? This SpaceX. I know they have that Starlink and all of that, the Elon Musk. What are the benefits that us as a country are getting besides this little $1 million the college of the Bahamas received from a billionaire? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What are the underlying? What's the negotiating factor? Where's the standpoint? What's going on? Who is receiving what? That's what we need to find out.
Again, you got to connect the dots.
I brought up a lot of money.
Until we get what we need, we're going to be in the same position.
Correct?
Pardon?
I say he has a lot of money. He spends money to get things done. You understand?
And obviously we got rocket launches and rocket landings in Exuma now.
That's right. We could benefit from his companies, But the government need to let us know if.
Well, we benefiting
requested
already. Free
anything.
delivery from Amazon. Hey, we benefiting already, brother.
Free delivery. We need to have free cable.
Anyway.
You understand what I'm saying? The whole country, if we allow these type of things to happen.
Man, right, man, let's have free gas too. Anyway, that's too much.
All right.
All right, good
Dottie.
stuff, brother. I appreciate it, man. But there you go. I mean, a lot of people have questions. A lot of people want answers. And a lot of people would like those answers in this digital generation. We got a lot of answers at our fingertips. They should be able to, have said answers readily available. But I hear the producer getting us to the break, man. I want to thank you for coming by again. I know we're going to be doing this once a month for the next couple of months, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be in on Wednesdays with me.
That's great. You don't want to bring in when MJ's there.
MJ will be in next Wednesday for sure.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
man.
Okay.
we got a baseball showcase coming up. So
okay, got it.
Gotta do some traveling. But yeah, man. Like I said, that next time you're here, she'll definitely be here. We'll do it on a Wednesday. Appreciate you stopping by. It's a great initiative. We support it. You always have a platform here on this show. So, mi casa es tu casa. We'll see you next month, bro. And we'll keep beating up our gums until we get what we need.
Thank you for having us. And just before we go, I'd like to say that if you're interested in booking a session for us to do the Be Clear program with you, then you can go to orgbahamas.com/citizens. Or you can reach out to me, Ariana Wells, 432-3397. That's 432-3397. Thanks for having us.
Always good to be here.
Here's one for you. Let me get this last
closeout.
On the closeout. This is a good one, though. Naughty, if our government was competent, they should have negotiated 10,000 SpaceX or Tesla shares to be placed in the Bahamas National Sovereign Wealth Fund. But certain people too ignorant to negotiate like that. 3 initials for you, man. 3 initials for you. Let's go to the break.
Now when the Gideon start, man, I go need your strength. Live up now, you stop killing yourself. Now when the Gideon start, man, I go need ya. Cause now it's not the time to sleep or turn the other.
The KFC Chicken Experts have done it again with the new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich, featuring a large 100% premium 120-gram white meat filet, topped with cheddar cheese, smoky bacon, lettuce, tomato, and tangy red onion, all drizzled with ranch sauce and served on a toasted brioche bun. Choose original recipe or spicy, but don't wait. This mouth-watering masterpiece is only here for a limited time and only at your favorite KFC. The new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Hola, República Dominicana. Send 3 money transfers using GK Money Services Western Union, and you'll be automatically entered to win a trip for 2 to Punta Cana. Price includes airfare, transportation, and 3 nights at an all-inclusive resort. Follow us on social at GKMSBAH for more info. Hola, República Dominicana. Send today with the Grace Canadian Money Services and Western Union. Promotion ends March 31, 2025.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Better say Lampkin. Besides carrying all the roofing material needed to cover East End, Enterprises also has all the equipment needed to put it together and to protect your workers. At Enterprises, we got hand tools, power and manual, including hacksaws, hammers, mauls, wrecking bars, well, hopefully they won't need them yet, drill bits, tapes, plumb bobs, levels, and more. We got cement, concrete bond and fiber, lime, sand, and P-rock. We got dust masks, safety glasses, gloves, hard hats, and high visibility vests. Lampkin, what we got here at Enterprises is a one-stop shop for builders.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Yeah. I'll never go in wrong congregation. Boy. Rastaman are born pagan, so I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do, cause Rastafari give all the guidance. I'll never say what the daddy just say. For Emperor Selassie, I trust and obey. Rasta words of his substance. I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do.
Where I got ya? on the Wednesday, February 19th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and your company right up until 6 p.m., man. And just touching on this text that we read before we went to the break. If our government was competent, they should have negotiated 10,000 SpaceX or Tesla shares to be placed in the Bahamas National Sovereign Wealth Fund. But certain people too ignorant to negotiate that. Well, wouldn't you want to know? I mean, it's kind of ignorant to want to put something in a sovereign wealth fund that we have no information about. It's kind of ignorant, in my opinion, that you want to blindly put something in there without the mechanism like a Freedom of Information Act, a Fiscal Responsibility Act, a Procurement Act to see where said money is going and where it's going out to. But I'll pretend you didn't put the cart before the horse, and I'll pretend like we had those mechanisms in place, and then it might be a good idea. But why only 10,000? Elon got plenty companies. SpaceX, Tesla, Amazon, plenty, man. Come on now. X, formerly Twitter. Yeah, not Amazon, my bad. Jeff got Amazon, my bad. Wrong, billionaire psycho. I mean, sorry. They both a little loopy. That's right. And listen, those two are so eccentric. I get them kind of confused. You know, in their own way, they're just doing their thing. You know what I mean? But Bezos, let me tell you, he could say what he wants. He giving me free Amazon, so I ain't got no problem with that. I don't. Elon, on the other hand, you destroyed X for me. You can't go on Twitter, you know. Tesla, even though my sister-in-law got one, they can't even come close to a Beamer. Please, por favor. I don't care how many camera and little horn. Your horn sound a little tooty anyway. So, but my sister-in-law go around me. Make she see me next time. And then, you got that no-manners child. Did you see him in the White House? Rampant. He looked like Damien from The Omen, running around freaking himself out on some kitty crock sugar rush. You know what I mean? He had to be on M&M, Skittles, Starburst, Juicy Fruit, all of that at the same time. He was wired. And then he was redding up Trump. I got 2 words for Elon Musk's son. Tamron Switch. Go pick it yourself. Oh, boy. But you got to laugh. And then step back and say, listen, now let's look at it responsibly. If we were gaining financially from this deal that merited like, wow, I can understand. But we're risking a lot for so little. Especially if we boast the green economy, a blue economy. Come on. What are we really doing? You all really too like people things. Go create your own SpaceX then if you want shares. And obviously you all is conks if you all can't get them. So what information you providing? A boo-boo the fool regurgitation of some, wannabe de facto political party leader? Come on, man. You see why people is call y'all, but they call y'all right. Tree letters. Tree letters. I was only entertaining, Sometimes I like to poke you all buttons in the COI, because I could tell us you all texting a mile away. All you all text the same thing. And then when he hits you with a question, you get mad, you get in your feelings. So that's why I say what I say to you all, I don't take you all seriously. I just see how fast I could poke your buttons and get you to freak out and say something even more ridiculous. Because I think it is a good idea to put something in the Sovereign Wealth Fund. And if it benefits all Bahamians. But obviously, we got to have the mechanisms in place to know where it is at all times and see how it's being dispersed and managed. Duh. Anyhow, I digress. Props to my good friend Toby Smith. Excellent video. Oh, my goodness, what's going on over there on that private island? I thought Mr. Cooper said Bahamians were going to be employed in the construction of that beach club. And he didn't give me the impression like it was going to be 1 or 2. It seemed like there were going to be jobs provided. But in the video I saw today, and the video don't lie, because you got the Mexicans speaking on it, and I speak Spanish. You got the Indonesians on it. you got all kind of other nationalities, but we had the Bahamians on it. Very interesting. Very interesting. Good stuff, though, Toby. Can't say, See what I mean? See what I mean? Stop looking for master to take care. Stop following foolishness and endorsing regurgitated ideas with no vision. Your message is lost with your leader. Work on that. All right? Okay? Go tell Mr. Bain create something apart from chaos. Let's go to the phone line. Talking Heads.
Good afternoon. What are you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
All right, Buffalo Bills here. I just want to...
Buffalo Bills. That don't mean nothing?
No, but, I was bigging them up. And
yeah, I know, but I mean, at this stage of the game, what I tell you, right in the lose. Didn't I tell you was going to be in the losers line sooner than later? What you drinking? But anyway,
okay,
glad you're here.
Dolphins,
I know, Dolphin. Don't insult me like that. Apologize right now.
My apologies, sir.
I'm a Dallas Cowboy. I mean, I know you probably don't like that. Last Super Bowl, second to last Super Bowl, we won was against you. But anyway, that's a different story.
Yeah, but I call you for, what I want to ask you, these comments in today's Guardian with the leader of the opposition.
Which one?
About this marital rape situation thing.
The headline reads, an F&M government would criminalize marital rape, Pintard says. Story by Rachel Scott.
Now, what I'm trying to find out, right? Just a brand new comment with the tag still on it, or there's something that he would have perhaps expressed.
Well,
earlier.
prior in his political career.
I'm almost certain, because the story doesn't say exactly when he said it. You see what I'm saying?
All right. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard said a government led by him would criminalize marital rape, noting that there are scenarios where people should have the right to pursue rape charges against their spouses. We are committed to changing the laws, Pintard told the Nassau Guardian on Monday. So the statement was made on Monday to the Nassau Guardian, and the reporter is Rachel Scott. So that quote is as of Monday. That's 2 days old.
Okay,
you can't get no more recent than that. That's brand new. That's spanking. Would you say tag on it, right?
The tag, the tag is still on it. Okay, I must have missed Monday.
And don't forget now, Mr. Pintard has been around for a while. All right, he's been fighting for action over rape laws from 1984. He's been lobbying against rape laws since 84. And there are videos circulating. Rape and marital rape.
Okay, then.
So from 80, to your question, there's documented footage from 84, and there is a quote as of 2 days ago in 2025.
But as a citizen politician, the thing about this whole thing concerning this marital rape situation here, if I'm a politician, when I speak, when I echo my comments, I almost certain they're going to be on the side of the majority and not the minority.
But sometimes you have to make the comment and understand that when you make that comment, you're being objective, whether the majority or the minority likes it. That's a different conversation for another day. Why do we have a minority and a majority on this thing? And once we dissect it, we'll see why the majority feels a certain way,
but then,
and we'll see why there's a minority.
Yeah, but Naughty, legislations are more through statistics, right? And research and studies. You can't just move a legislation, to address a legislation minus...
And you can't say we're not going to touch moving the legislation because we're scared we're going to upset certain voters. And we're on thin ice administration-wise this go-round, so we're going to upset potential voters. Come on, you got to...
No, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that for me.
Okay, for you, but that's fine. That's a key component, though, because the AG went out and made that statement.
Yeah, I mean, they're making these statements, but then, like I'm saying, you cannot, just 2025, Naughty.
Right, and in 2025, no should mean no.
Days, no more.
Correct, and I got to get to the break, bro. Good stuff. But you're right, it's 2025. We're not in the colonial days. No should mean no. If a woman, whether she's your wife, your girlfriend, your sweetheart, and I don't condone that, whoever it is, if no is no. And guess what? The next way around, too. If your woman want to try grabbing you, say no, no is no. And pull the covers up there, up around your chest, fella, and say no. I want to watch Sports Center. But no means no. That's all I said. So, as we go down that road, like I said, Good day, Naughty. If ever I'm running on murder rape, they will lose for sure. I know they won't get my vote if that's their intention. And I don't even like the PRP, but won't support that bill. They need to run on a Freedom of Information other than murder rape. Thank you for your misogyny-dripping comment right there, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, the show is live. Hello? Are you texting live? Give me proof that you're a live texter. Because I'm quite live. Okay. Last time I checked, let me check my pulse. We live, right? Cuban Willie live, too, coming up right out of the break. And then we'll get to the news. It's been an interesting first hour, boy. Interesting. Boy, I tell you, you got to change people. Some of these draconian mind frames and mindsets, we really got to change that, man. We really do. Who are we? We want to be forward? We want to be a first world nation? Or we want to stay being a banana republic? Got to be one or the other. Anyhow, flip side of the break, we'll get into the 5 o'clock hour. We'll be talking sports. Don't touch it. Keep it right where you got it.
But still I fear no foe, no. Order my steps, soldier. All I do is win, no matter what.
Feeling lucky? Here's Cuban Willie's numerology report. Brought to you by the Island Game.
Buenos días. It's Wednesday. Soy Joe Cuban Willie, and it's time for my numerology report, brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. And today, I got the 3 balls for you. Today, your 3 ball is 500. 500. I see 500 about 8 times between yesterday and today. Today's ball, 3 ball, is the 500. Play it and win with the Island Game. Stay winning, my friends.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Yeah. I'll never go in wrong congregation. Boy. Rastaman upon pagan, so I'll never.
Talking Heads Fifth Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, City of Hope, Fine Threads, Jazz in the Gardens, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, Click, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, Percy's Island Games, Pinder Towel, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do. Cause Rastafari give all the guidance. I'll never say what the wicked ought say. Neither will I walk in the council no day. All the eyes be no God. So mythology and illusion I'll be always burning. Corruption and confusion will be shown in the ash bin. Can't fool the Rastaman with your false doctrine, your false teaching. Oh, what a sin thing. Justice in disguise, it's salvation that is seeking. From the throne of David, yeah, it's obvious that is drifting. You have the respect for the King of all kings, so his name I'll be always exalting. So I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do. Cause Rastafari give all the guidance. I'll never say what the Dalitans say. For Emperor Selassie I trust and obey. Rasta words are pure substance. I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do. Cause Rastafari give all the guidance. Never say.
We're back at you on the, oh boy, one of the worst things could ever happen when you do radio. Headphones just blow. So we can work this out. Let me flip this one back here. We'll go old school for a minute. Before I go deep, Mr. Producer, if you want to throw me a pair, if you got one there or one here, that'll work out perfect. We got Pearly in the building. Pearly be chiming in a second. But let me just touch base. Let me just touch base on this. Naughty, I think it's unfair to classify someone's opinion as draconian or outdated because it differs from yours. I respect others' opinions even if I disagree. Everyone has a right to their point or view. Well, I agree. I totally agree with you. Everyone does have a right to their own opinion. But everyone doesn't have to agree with each other's opinion. You're most certainly entitled to your opinion. If I agree with it, fine. If I don't, that's my right too. That's why they call it agree to disagree. And your opinion may be one thing and my opinion may be another. Now, when I use the draconian, That was in regard to several things that we had referenced and touched on, the way we're handling it as a society and as a culture and as a people. But yeah, I agree. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Even if my opinion is that your opinion is draconian. No need to get upset. That's what makes the world go around. But I do agree with you. We need to be able to understand and respect each other's opinion, whether we agree or disagree, and then get to the common ground. Sometimes we have to take a step back, laugh at ourselves a little bit, then move forward. So I'm mad at you, Texter. I just think your opinion was draconian. That don't mean I don't think it's not valid in the way you see it. If that works for you, that's great. That just don't work for me. But it's still all good, and I appreciate you texting. Keep on texting and keep on listening. All right, Pearly, what's good, my brother?
In this corner, what you saying?
I'm all GWD good. What's going on with you?
Trying to stay out of trouble and see what these Charlotte Hornets do to my Lakers tonight.
Lakers look like they did a good job last night. Or night before.
They didn't play last night.
Not last night. What was I going to say? The last time they were out, they did all right. And then they lost to the Jazz. So let's see what happens. Coming in off the post-All-Star game. But I think that second loss right before the All-Star game to the Jazz was more Redick benching people and not trying to hurt people against a team that, in the bottom of the standing. Because I saw a lot of other people get looks that normally don't get looks in that, and early on in that game, too. We still got Pearly there, as he muted himself.
I'm right here. I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere.
Then answer, because when I stop talking, that means you respond. You know how this thing go, Wilborn. Come on, man. When Kornheiser stop, you pick up.
Apologies. My apologies. My apologies.
You're distracted.
My deepest apologies. I do apologize.
Well, listen, now that I've said it, I said, yeah, the two games they played before the All-Star break, one was really good. Second one was, I want to see what they do tonight. I think Charlotte is a good game, a good team for them to run up and down the court with. See how they get Dalton Connect back involved in the lineup. See what Luka does. See how we match up. You know what I mean? See what we can do. If we can beat teams that we're supposed to beat, how we need to. And then, obviously,
LeBron may not play tonight. I think he's going to miss 1 or 2 games, they say.
Good, but let Luka just light it up tonight, man. That'd be beautiful. That gives us a glimpse of life in LA post-LeBron.
Yeah, it sure does.
It really does. And that's not a bad thing.
It sure does.
So anyway,
we'll see how it goes.
Let's get into today in sports history. All brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. Well worth the trip out there to the Old Fort Shopping Plaza Monday through Friday. Great for lunch and dinner. Then on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, great for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right? So be sure to check them out. And on this day, February 17th, in sports history, a couple of events happened. 1924, swimmer Johnny Weissmuller set a world record in the 100-yard freestyle. He did it with a time of 57.25 seconds in Miami, Florida.
Okay.
Joe DiMaggio. Jolton Joe DiMaggio, New York Yankees, joined the U.S. Army as a volunteer inductee. Okay?
Okay.
So that's another good one.
I remember that.
1946, Danny Gardella became the first Major League player to go to the Mexican League. 1965, the NFL began using 6 officials during games, and they still can't get it right. 1977, Rod Gilbert of the New York Rangers scored his 1,000th point. 1996, Charles Barkley of the Phoenix Suns got his 10,000th career rebound. He became only the 10th NBA player to reach 20,000 points and 10,000 rebounds in a career. 1996, Patrick Waugh of the Colorado Avalanche became the second youngest NHL goaltender and 12th overall to reach 300 career victories. Sports quote of the day: "Pain is just weakness leaving the body." Ricky Hill, Fayetteville, North Carolina Methodist College cheerleading and dance coach. Okay.
No comment.
You leave that one right there. We ain't touching that
Right
one.
there.
I ain't going nowhere near that one.
No.
Nowhere
no
near
Diddy.
it. No bueno.
Staying away from that.
All right, let's have a look at the local home scene, the local home court. Today's Wednesday. Don't forget, it's all brought to you, of course, by Burger King Nassau. It is Whopper Wednesday. So take advantage of that, man. At your favorite Burger King Nassau location. They got the great Whopper combos going on for you. So be sure to check them out today. Sometimes you just need a Whopper, you know what I mean, Pearly?
Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, with the little onion rings, you're good to go. That's what I'm talking about.
Coke soda, I get to go.
All right, let's check out the local scene. Saints turn back Greenville. Hugh Campbell tournament continues at AF Adderley Gym. Destroyed by Sheldon Longley, the Kingsway Academy Saints didn't have the season they would have liked in the Bahamas Association of Independent Secondary Schools Championships, but they're off and rolling in the 41st Annual Hugh Campbell Invitational Basketball Tournament, securing a convincing win at the AF Adderley Gym on Tuesday. In the first game of the tournament, the Saints spanked the Greenville Preparatory Academy Eagles, who are making their maiden appearance in the double elimination tournament. The Saints won easily 57-20. Will go on to play the private school champion St. John's College Giants in their next game today. So we'll see where it goes. But Hugh Campbell off and running. I just don't want. I don't want to go back Freeport.
They can win till Grandmama reach. Then that ends.
That's what I'm saying. I want to go back home. No, you need to stay right here in Nassau. I don't hear MJ talking no more foolish about Hugh Campbell trophy. That's a Freeport trophy. That belonged to us.
No, St. John's has a really good team, and I think C.I. Gibson has a good team. So we'll see what happens. Is it C.I. Gibson or is it Anatole? I think it's Anatole.
Yeah, they got some good squads. Anatole's a solid one, too.
We might be able to keep it here. We might be able to keep it here, hopefully.
VJ scores 24 and Baylor's lost to Arizona. Bahamian collegiate freshman with the Baylor University Bears, Valdez VJ Edgecombe, is having a phenomenal first season in college basketball. Edgecombe and the Bears dropped another home game on Monday, falling 74-67 to the number 19 University of Arizona Wildcats in front of a capacity crowd of 7,500 at Forrester Pavilion in Waco, Texas. Edgecombe is averaging 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. Struck for a game-high 24 on Monday. He was 6 of 13 from the field, but just 1 of 6 from three-point range. Edgecombe had 14 free throw attempts and hit 11 of those. He also had 4 rebounds and 2 assists. With the loss, the Bears dropped to 16-10 on the season and 8-7 in the Big 12 Conference. They'll still make the tournament. He just needs to make a lot of noise. That team is ultra-talented. They were a preseason top 5. Tons of injuries have derailed them. But VJ's been playing. I think he's going to be on display in March in the Final Four tournament.
If they get their players back, and they expect some players back this next week, I think, so it'll be right in time for the conference tournament, and hopefully they'll get a high rank. But he had a good game. He closed the first half out with one. He came down the left side of the lane and put one two-hand dunk on their center. Oh, Lord of mercy. I fell for the kid.
He was off the chain.
He was good. It's just too many injuries, and he doesn't have enough help.
Yeah, he don't. But if he gets them out back, they could make a sneaky run in that tournament.
Yeah, they can, and I look forward to seeing them do that. You know,
I think it could. They can make a run.
So we'll see what happens.
Providing they get some of those pieces back.
Outside of Florida and maybe Alabama, I think it's wide open for about maybe 8 to 10 other teams that can make a good run. I think Florida, Alabama probably will be in the Final Four, particularly Florida. I don't know so much Alabama because they might get catch, but Florida has a really, really good team, and Duke has a really, really good team.
Duke got some good players on it for sure. They really do.
Yeah.
They have a good squad. They really have a good squad. Duke got a solid squad. And what I like to see is a solid squad minus Krzyzewski.
Yeah. And I mean, they've been solid without him. I mean, they're basically, it's post Krzyzewski's Duke now, and they really got a good team.
Pardon?
They say they're post Krzyzewski. Post Mike now. So they got a really good team. And that coach he got there is doing a good job of recruiting. Plus, he got the best player in college, so, you know.
They do.
Yeah. Well, arguably the best player in college. Let's put it that way.
Flag is good. He's up there now, but I wouldn't say he might be the best. He's had some moments.
That's why I said arguably, because some people can argue for 1 or 2 other players.
He's had some good moments, but he's also had some bad moments.
Yeah, he has, but he can shoot. The kid can shoot.
He really can shoot it up, though.
Yeah.
I give him that.
But speaking of college basketball, I see my Notre Dame Fighting Irish women are number 1 now.
Tell Juju play him.
No, they can be all right. I think Juju moved up a couple of ranks too, so it's gonna be interesting to see. LSU, don't sleep on them yet. Because Angel is gone, they're still gonna be a pretty good team. So I think I'm looking forward to the women's basketball tournament. I think that's gonna be fun.
Yes, I think the women's basketball tournament is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. There's some talented young women there.
I
Really
agree.
talented.
I agree that this year's tournament, especially in the women's bracket, is going to be very entertaining.
And speaking of women's basketball, WNBA made a lot of trades and a lot of movement. So, you're going to see some really good teams out there. That Indiana team, I hate to say it with Caitlin Clark, but they picked up Bonner. They picked up another player that's going to make them a lot stronger team, but they're going to try to say Caitlin led the team.
No, they couldn't get it done. Caitlin couldn't get it done, so a la LeBron, they went and got us some help.
Yeah, that's what I say. So they're going to try to put it and say Caitlin led the team, but it's going to be because of the additions, not because of her.
And that Caitlin Clark groupie is going to call in 5, 4, 3. There goes his text right there. I knew it. We got a very interesting final 15 today or so, Pearly. And the reason why I'm mentioning it now, we got the NFL getting ready to go into free agency. Got the NFL getting ready for the draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of talks in the offseason. Well, I got a good one for you today. All right?
But just before you go, if you see me cut out, I'm switching from data to Wi-Fi. So
No problem. It's all good.
But keep talking. Go ahead.
We got a good one from First Things First with Nick Wright and Steve Broussard. A very good question. Will the 49ers regret paying Brock Purdy now? How Vikings... will the 49ers regret paying Brock Purdy? Will they regret it? And how the Vikings should handle the QB situation in Minnesota.
That should be good.
But the big question is, there you are at that crossroad, 49ers. Do you pay Purdy now and not be able to do certain things because of the cap? Or do you stall him and try to come back later? Naughty, what do you mean Caitlin Clark couldn't get it done? She has a weak team like Kobe back in his prime. And then they got Kobe help, and Kobe won championships. Now Caitlin has the help. Let's see her win championships. She had help in college, and we knew she couldn't get it done. She's still choking on them 2 Final Four appearances where she choked and lost. But one Angel re-shut her down. But, I mean, the next one, yeah. And don't think I missed that Caitlin just yesterday. The only good juju I know grows on trees. Listen, I didn't want you to miss it. That's why I said it twice. And Juju got the juju for Caitlin. You talking with such conviction. Why did Caitlin back out of the NBA All-Star game in that shootout between a proposed team of Curry and Ionescu versus Klay Thompson and Caitlin Clark? Why did Caitlin back out and say, well, my first All-Star game, I'd like to be in the WNBA? Come on, Caitlin Clark groupie. Tell us, let us know, man. You are to Caitlin Clark what the Bronsexuals are to LeBron. Naughty, I know Pearly is a big Angel Reese fan. I'm an extremely big... Yeah, jump in line, Texter. Jump in line behind me, all right? I'm the one who brought Juju to the table here. I peeped y'all the Juju. Y'all better get it right now. But yes, if you're a fan of Juju, welcome, Texter. Welcome. Because Juju is the future. I'm telling you right there. Remember, you heard it first right here. All right, let's go to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads. Hello?
Yeah, what is
Hello?
Hey, Naughty.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Listen, me and the boy had yesterday about the Yankees and Dodgers draw in terms of fan base.
So I'm sure you put Pearly in his place, right?
Yeah, he come up with some statistics showing saying that the Dodgers is drawing about 6,000 more people per game. And he said, I can tell you that on the other side is news at the break. But we really went out there deep, right?
So you calling back today to make sure Pearly's right here, I
know. I'm making sure, you mean.
Pearly, I mean, you don't address the Yankee Nation. You're in the midst of being that guy Dodger World Series. You signed everybody and their mama this offseason, and you got Ohtani pitching. What's going on, Pearly?
Yeah, and guess what?
I don't know why big Yankee there don't understand that the Dodgers outdraw them last year and will outdraw them again this year.
Pearly, now you know what I have to say to that, right? You could outdraw us till the cows come home as long as we win that championship. I don't care.
But at this point in time, you have no say. We are the defending champs. Sit small until your name called.
Really?
Now, Pearly, hold on now. Don't really push it
Don't
there
go
now.
there.
Don't tell me I don't have no say, because I got a button here to make sure you have no Dodger say. Don't play with me now.
Listen, if that's the road you choose to
I would
be like some, you choose to be that route like some politicians and don't want to let the public hear what is what. That's fine.
I ain't being like a politician. I being like Billy Martin.
That's fine.
Yeah,
But the bottom line is,
Billy was
Judd
quite a
dropped the
character.
ball. Judd dropped the ball in center field, and the rest is history.
Right. Yeah. You see, like I said.
And guess what? Watch this now. Watch how emotional he gets. Watch this one. And Big Yankee, big Yankee. How many we got? 27?
Yeah, 27.
How much the Dodgers got?
I don't even think they got 15.
In the words of Janet Jackson, a dear friend of mine, what have you done for me lately?
Okay, enjoy that moment, all right? I'll let you start with the Janet reference. But my question is, Pearly, answer me this. Why did the Dodgers pack up out of Brooklyn and go to L.A., man?
Because we wanted to...
New York couldn't beat the Yankees in New York. That's what happened.
You were king of the East, and we couldn't get no win in the East because the country, the New Yorkers favored the Yankees, so we went where we had a home.
We went to the West.
They offered us some good money, where we can make good money and where we can expand the market of the MLB. Simple as that.
Boy, listen here. Don't talk about me going into politics and spilling. Because listen, one second, Big Yankee.
All the Japanese players that they were able to attract being on the West Coast. So he trying to but you know what? When I put him in his place, I said you got almost six Japanese players, and I refer him to the fact that there's only one team that win at 420 game winners and is still relevant today was the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
right.
It wasn't the Dodgers nor the Yankees. It was the Orioles. No problem.
Yeah, but I took you down memory lane for a reason, because you're talking about all these pitches you got stuck up as if you all guaranteed to win in the World Series, as if you're all going to get to the World Series.
I would never use the
Boy,
word
look here.
guarantee.
This could be a good baseball season. Once I get you two jinxed up to go at each other, this could be wonderful. I love it.
Oh yeah, because starting Friday I tuned in to this the earliest I ever tuned into baseball. Come Friday, I could be right there watching the Yankees in their first spring training game. That's how serious I is.
And Jazz at second.
Exactly.
All right.
You going to Florida to watch, or you talking about on TV?
I already told him that Jazz gonna may end up leaving off the Yankees at the first during the first.
Yeah, you said that. You said that last year during the show. You did say it.
Yeah, and that's what it's looking like right now.
Well, we'll see, man. Good
because
stuff as
we
always.
don't have a clear leadoff guy, and you can't alternate a leadoff batter. You got to have a leadoff batter who have the ability to get on base.
Well, we'll see how it goes, man. Good points. I think Jazz will be a good leader for him for sure. Now, Pearly, good stuff there, Big Yankee. Now, Pearly, I heard what you said about the Dodgers exiting New York and heading to L.A. Don't you ever talk about me going into politics because I could spin. I never heard we tucked our tail between our legs and ran, put so eloquently and spun the way you just did it just then. I just want to let you know that.
Listen, an opportunity came for the new ownership of the Brooklyn Dodgers to make a move. The offer was made to them, and an offer was made to the Giants, the New York Giants, baseball Giants, and both teams decided to move out west. And it actually helped baseball that those two great, great franchises move out west.
It gave the National League some gusto.
Yeah.
Let's get this one in before we get to the break. Pearly, I can let you handle the answer to this on the flip side of the break, because this is Caitlin Clark, homeboy, right here. Caitlin the GOAT, anyway, addressed why she backed out. She wanted her first three-point contest to be at a WNBA All-Star game in Indianapolis this summer. We said that on the show there. Tell us something new, Captain Obvious. But why? Was she scared? That's what I want to know. She's making sure the WNBA gets those ratings. Well, wouldn't her participating in the All-Star game in a shootout with Klay Thompson against Steph Curry and Ionescu be ratings and promotion for the WNBA just to get people to watch them when the season kicks off? Or am I wrong about that one, Pearly?
No, you're very right. You're very right.
Caitlin Clark fans, first cousins to the Brunsexuals. Let's get to the break.
Cause the wicked in a Babylon slew ya if you're weak. I miss a oh, please my cause, oh yeah. And let me stand.
NRG is nutrition. Check out our world-famous smoothies, signature quinoa dishes. We have the best salad and breakfast fit for a king and his queen. Open for breakfast, lunch, and now dinner. Each order is made with love and the highest quality ingredients and is nutritionally balanced. Visit any of our 3 locations. Old Fort Bay, open until 7:30 p.m. West Bay Street and Gladstone Road in the Monrose Complex, open until 4 p.m. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at NRG Bahamas. NRG, nutrition ready to go.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
The KFC chicken experts have done it again with the new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich, featuring a large 100% premium 120-gram white meat filet topped with cheddar cheese, smoky bacon, lettuce, tomato, and tangy red onions, all drizzled with ranch sauce and served on a toasted brioche bun. Choose original recipe or spicy, but don't wait. This mouth-watering masterpiece is only here for a limited time and only at your favorite KFC. The new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talkin' Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Yeah. I'll never go in wrong congregation. Boy. Rastaman about pagans, so I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do, cause Rastafari by the guidance. I'll never say what the daddy just say. For Emperor Selassie, I trust and obey. Rasta words of your substance. I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do, cause Rastafari by the guidance. I'll never say what the wicked heart say. Neither will I walk in the council no day. All the earth be no God, so mythology and illusion I'll be always burning. Corruption and confusion will be shown in the ash bin. Can't fool the Rastaman with your false doctrine, your false teaching.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, February 19th edition of Talking Heads. Pearly, you got to do the picks. All brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. And I got to remind everybody, something big is coming for March. It's all about the brackets. It's all about the bracketology. If you do well with college basketball and picking those brackets, and you don't have an Island Game sportsbook account,
terribly last year.
I think
I was out of it after the first week. First
out of it
weekend.
after the first 2 games. Anyway,
Yeah.
if you want an account with the Island Game, all you have to do is simply log on to theislandgame.com, Set up your sports book. Get ready to play. They got something big coming in March for your brackets. That's what I'm going to say right now. But trust me, it's a big one, and you're going to definitely love it. More ways to play, more ways to win with the Island Game. They always remind you to play responsibly. And don't forget the Island Game. The game you know, the friends you trust. All right, we got picks coming up there, Pearly. All right? And I guess we could go NBA tonight.
There's only one game tonight, or is there a bunch of games tonight?
Tonight on the docket, you've got one game tonight, then Thursday everything kicks off, but you got a good game tonight. You got the Lakers and the Hornets.
Yeah.
Lakers minus 12 with no LeBron against the Hornets. I'm thinking money line. And probably
the Hornets not bad though, but he may play. He's still a game time decision.
And maybe over 229 as well.
And then ball is a game time decision as well.
They probably both gonna play coming off the All-Star break though.
Yeah, but I like the Lakers. I take the Lakers in the money line. The 12.5 is possible, but I'm not gonna trust that.
No, man, you being brave with that. I'll take them in the money line. I'm not gonna take them in the minus 12.
Yeah, I agree.
But listen, in college basketball tonight, Pearly, there are a bevy of games. I mean, I'll tell you right now, the
Alabama-Missouri game should be a really good game.
They got close to. Go ahead.
Considering Missouri is ranked 15, Alabama is ranked 4, and Missouri is a 1.5 point favorite. That's amazing.
I'll take Alabama with the points.
I'll take Alabama with the points as well.
Another game I like, Georgetown and Providence. Good old-fashioned Big East rivalry. Give me Georgetown 1.5 at home over Providence. I like that.
Okay. All right.
And here's another one, from off the beaten path. West Virginia and Cincinnati. This game should go over the 129.5 and give me West Virginia minus the 2.5.
It should. And then your girlfriend is playing tonight. They're hosting Michigan State tonight.
Oh, you mean my favorite female player? I don't keep no girlfriend or no sweetheart now.
Yeah, your favorite female player. When I say girlfriend, I mean it not in a terrible way.
Oh, you mean like in a Holly Berry kind of way, which I'm allowed to? Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah. But Juju is hosting number 22 Michigan State tonight. That's going to be a good game, considering USC just came off a big win off of UCLA and all that. So let's hope they don't have a letdown, but I still think they'll be able to take care of Michigan State tonight.
I think so too. I think they'll be able should be able to do a thing against Michigan State. Listen, the legend of Juju grows.
And then UConn, I think UConn beat South Carolina. So UConn coming off a big win over South Carolina as well.
But South Carolina's lost a lot of players. I mean, they're still good, and Dawn City still has them competitive, but they lost some of their key ingredients. You know that.
Yeah, but they still were ranked in the top 5.
Yeah, she know how to recruit. But like I say, it's the growing pains.
People at the star player, I can't remember her name, but the superstar who should go number 1 this year. I can't. Oh God, her name slipped me. But I like UConn tonight, not letting down and really taking care of Seton Hall.
There you go, man. Good stuff, Freddie. We got to get to the break, man. But you're in tomorrow and Friday because I got some comedy obligations. And I got a showcase for the youngest. Let's see how that works out. All right. So Pearly will be happening Thursday and Friday. And MJ and I'll be back on Monday. And Monday we'll be talking to Roscoe and Abaco. Tuesday will be the Grand Bahama Report, the Freeport Report. Sarah Kirk and Darren Cooper will join us. Yeah, man. Good stuff.
Yesterday was a good one. That's me and Darren.
Wednesday will be Open Line Wednesday. Thursday, Pearly will be in the building, and Friday be Week in Review with me and MJ and Pearly. So we got a fully loaded week coming up next week. And like I said, we're going to take a quick break right now. Flip side of the break, we got the crew from First Things First, Nick Wright and Steve Broussard taking us home. Is it a good thing for the 49ers to pay Brock Purdy now, or will they regret it later? And what should the Minnesota Vikings do with their quarterback situation? Good take this afternoon. Be sure to check that out. Good stuff. Pearly, handle your business tomorrow, my brother.
Yeah, man. Just have a good time.
Yes, sir. And we'll do it all again. Keep it right where you got it. The Wednesday, February 19th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
But still I fear no foe, no. Such me got me sword, be my shield on the battlefield. Head on. The wicked I go feel it. We will take the stand against the ones who oppress us. And by every means...
You're a builder. You want to give your client the best material at the best prices, and you need to put food on the table. Well, check out these prices at Pinder Enterprises. 5/8 pressure-treated roofing ply starting at $36.68, includes VAT. By the way, all these prices include VAT. Gray Select Water Shield, $134.20 a roll. Felt, 15 pounds, $16.50, 30 pounds, $19.80. Owens Corning Duration Shingles and Certainty Landmark Shingles, $56.56 a bundle. Gallon Roof Cement, $33.47. When it comes to screwing and nailing, Pinder got you covered. He got every nail and screw you could possibly need.
Get to stacking up the flavor at Burger King Nassau with its new Stacker King lineup. It doesn't get any bigger, better, or meatier than the Stacker Kings, which feature bacon, cheese, and a delicious stacker sauce, all piled on as many flame-grilled Whopper patties as you can handle. For the chicken lovers, try the all-new Crispy Chicken Stacker, or pile your mornings high with a croissant stacker loaded with meat, cheese, and stacker sauce on a warm, flaky croissant. Don't miss out on the bold flavors of the Stacker King collection, available at Burger King Nassau.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Yeah. I'll never go in wrong combination. Boy. Rastaman a born pagan, so I'll never go.
He was lighting up defenses. When things got particularly tough around him, he wasn't nearly as great, making me wonder if he's able to consistently elevate those around him. Sounds like a fair question. Is he a quarterback who can overcome adversity, or will he be limited by it in his career? Where are those goalposts when you need them, Brew? Some people wanted to know how he would deal with adversity years ago. So, Brew, Coach saw it yesterday. What is this? Are you giving him the pass?
Iowa Mafia, baby. I'm still with you.
Okay, all right.
Contrary to popular opinion on this show.
Hold on.
Nick. I
Coach,
don't know who else actually.
Coach, yesterday, Greg wasn't here. Yesterday, did it feel like Brew was falling out of love with Brock Purdy?
It didn't feel like you were in love.
Thank you. Exactly. So, would the 49ers regret paying Brock Purdy?
Well, you know where I'm at.
Yeah, that he's.
And Coach talked about it earlier.
Discount.
If Mahomes took $45 million, then maybe Brock Purdy can take $45 million. That's all I'm saying. So that's what I'm trying to do. But let's say they pay him top of the market. He wants his money. He hadn't been paid. I don't think it's a death knell because the cap goes up. Philadelphia has shown you can have a high-priced quarterback, and I know Jalen's contract hadn't kicked in yet. Right. But still, they got everything, right? And so you can still add great players around a highly paid quarterback. And look, he's shown you that he's got poise. He's shown you he can play in the playoffs. We got his playoff numbers coming up. But he's performed well in the playoffs, 4 wins already, got you to a Super Bowl. And you might say, well, Jimmy G got us to a Super Bowl too.
Yeah, that's what.
But they got there. But you remember that, Nick. In fairness, they got there kind of despite Jimmy G. In the playoffs, they hardly threw the football. Didn't they throw it only 8 times in one game?
Yes, but
Purdy actually had led comebacks, led game-winning drives in the second half against top teams to get them to the Super Bowl.
Was even throwing trick shot passes off defenders' helmets into
Purdy. And here's the other thing. This year, with no Brandon Ayuk, with Debo's not an Avenger anymore, as far as I'm concerned. He's good. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's not.
And Debo's going to be gone next year as well.
So, right. Yep. And no Christian McCaffrey for the most part. Look at this passer rating. Was he fantastic? As good as first 2 years? No, but his passer rating still was higher than these guys. We got this graphic, I believe,
others,
coming
I'm
on.
sure it's coming.
It's some big names on there. If we ever see it, it'll be. Oh, we don't. I'll read.
Take your word for
higher passer rating than Stafford, Patrick Mahomes. You mentioned C.J. Stroud.
His
several
passer
other
rating
guys.
was good. This graphic will have his passer rating. We put up his previous part of his career to last year. What you will see, I think we have this one, is he was, of course, worse across the board. And the claim to fame early was that he was a winner. The claim to fame the year before this one was the great numbers along with winning.
Right.
So his rookie year, he was a winner. He was in the 2023, he had the amazing numbers to go along with the wins. And then 2024, he had neither. And I feel, Coach, like if you have to hesitate, then you don't pay the guy. If it's not a no-brainer, and the people you guys will throw at me is Trevor. For me, Trevor, I wouldn't have had to hesitate. Now, it doesn't right now look like it was the right call. I understand that. But at that moment, the guy who'd been number one pick of the draft, a guy who in year 2 made the playoffs, played great, won a playoff game, and in year 3, they were 8-3 and then he got hurt, I would have been like, yes, of course I'm paying him. I get that you guys put Trevor out of it because
But this ain't Dak, Tua.
Right, but I wouldn't have
too.
paid those guys. That's the point I'm making.
That's fair.
And so like Burrow, Josh, Patrick, obviously, there's no hesitation.
There's like 4 guys like that, though.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
And go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, so for me, like, will they regret it? I think they will, simply because of what we're talking about right now. Those top guys are automatic no-brainers, no questions asked. 32 teams had an opportunity to pay them, they would pay them because they're that much of a difference maker. Now, with Brock Purdy, the challenge is going to be what we saw this year can be what we will see moving forward.
Because you're not going to have a stacked of a team.
Yes, and I didn't think he played bad, but he clearly didn't play good enough to where they were able to overcome some of those issues that they're going to have. They're not going to have all these guys moving forward once you decide to pay Brock Purdy. And even if you don't decide to pay him, you're still not going to have all these guys. And he was inserted into a situation where they were a stacked team, defensively and offensively. And so all he had to do was just be steady and not turn the ball over, and now you're asking a player that wasn't asked to do so much to do much more.
But don't you think he did a lot? I mean, like
Last
I said,
year?
No, 2 years ago. Like you said, he just had to be steady. I mean, he led them to
2
that
years ago,
win
he
over
was very
Detroit,
good.
right? And then Green Bay. Like he did more than just be steady. Like Jimmy G was steady for the most part. Brock actually made some things happen on his own, too.
And in fairness to Brock Purdy, to say that he hasn't dealt with any adversity, he's Mr. Irrelevant, and he figures out a way to become the starter, and then he's
the way he figured out to become the starter was everyone got hurt in front of him. He didn't figure it out.
But Trey Lance was there, and he was the 3rd overall draft pick, and he overcame that. And to say that you can insert anybody into it, they obviously wanted to make Trey Lance work. That was, about as embarrassing as you can get from a draft perspective. And so he was able to overcome that. And if Trevor Lawrence had the career that Brock Purdy's had so far, we'd be talking about Trevor in a totally different light.
I totally agree.
And what I'll say is that Kyle Shanahan has the best position to evaluate whether or not Brock Purdy is the answer. And if we can pull up this graphic here. So now he's been coaching quarterbacks or an offensive coordinator for a long time. Look at the volume of quarterbacks that he spent time with, okay? Some have gone to Pro Bowls, some have been the MVPs, and it's high draft picks, it's free agents, it's across the board. So he's seen a range of guys work within his system. So if he believes that Brock Purdy can continue to elevate, then organizationally, you go ahead and pay him. And this is what I'm going to say, too. He may not believe he deserves the highest end money, but unfortunately, in this world, you have to pay what the market is. And so you may overpay for a guy that you feel should be a little bit less, but that's just the world we live in, and that's the reality. But no one's in a better position than he is to say whether or not this guy is the future.
Is there a way to pull up Coach's graphic again? Because I think that is instructive. Because, there are a few guys on this list that are just not starters, right? Mullins, Hoyer, Beathard, Trey Lance, who would, at this point.
But he was a top pick.
And
Darnold.
Get to Darnold. But Mullins, Hoyer, Beathard were not starters in this league, right? All of the guys who were starters that Shanahan got a full season from them, it was the best football we ever saw them play, and they weren't able to recreate it. That is part. So Jimmy G You know what I mean? Now, we saw Jimmy G before and after. Purdy, it's unfair because we've only seen him with them, right? Matt Ryan had a long career, a good career. Got with Kyle, won league MVP, was never close to it. RG3, again, that might be unfair because he got hurt. Matt Schaub was a fine player in Houston all of a sudden, is making Pro Bowls with Kyle. Kyle's gone, that changes.
Cousins was great.
Matt Ryan wins the MVP, right?
And Cousins was great in Minnesota, and so he got Cousins. I'm not sure he ever coached Cousins for a full season when he was the starter in Washington.
On that list is because the owner forced him to draft RG3, and he and his dad wanted to draft Kirk Cousins, so they drafted him in the same draft, high first round, and fourth round.
So the reason I bring this up is this, and McNabb was old McNabb. He didn't get the. But the point I'm making is this is why I have real hesitation about. And it's why I always bring up if he were in a different situation, not even because that's relevant to how good of a player he is. It's relevant to, is there a better way for us to spend $55 million? I couldn't do it with Trey Lance, especially after he broke his leg. But if I could do it with Jimmy Garoppolo and I could do it with Mr. Irrelevant, would I rather give Sam Darnold the Baker Mayfield contract
Nick, he's making that decision.
I know.
He's the one making that decision, and he's got that guy in his system, so if it works for him, and nobody has more to lose than Kyle Shanahan does. I mean, it's his job, it's the coaches' jobs, it's all the players' jobs. You know, it's all their success is tied together. So if he feels, after working with that range of quarterbacks, that this guy can lead us to where we want to go, then I think if you have to pay him a little bit more to get to that point, then organizationally you say, okay, we're going to move forward with it.
And as much as I used to defend Garoppolo, because he did win, Purdy has done way more than Garoppolo.
I agree.
I mean, he was better in the Super Bowl than Garoppolo. Those playoffs, he was leading them, not just
I agree, but we now know that Garoppolo is Garoppolo outside of Shanahan is a bad player.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, we didn't see him before Shanahan. I'll give Garoppolo this. Right. I mean, and again, he was always injured. So by that point, maybe physically he can't do anything. But when he got to San Francisco, they were 1-10.
Yeah.
And he led them to 5 straight wins. Then they made him the highest paid player in the history of the game. And then he led them to, some great success when he was healthy.
That was the start of the New England friction. Remember, Bill wanted to keep
Bill wanted.
from Brady.
Yeah.
I really am fascinated with what Kyle ends up doing here because I don't know that Kyle thinks I know that he wanted a force multiplier at quarterback. That's why they traded 3 first-round picks for a player they thought could be. Obviously, Trey Lance is not that player. He was way wrong on that, but the thought process tells us he thinks there is another level this offense can be unlocked by if you have that guy at quarterback. If they pay Brock, they're saying he thinks that it can be that guy, which is, again, Mike McDaniel's protege. I said it. I've been grading him on a curve because I think Tua is a limited player. Once they pay Tua, it's like, no, you signed up for this. You're treating him like a superstar. You now are held to superstar standards. I wonder if that's what's going to happen with Brock. That ain't my decision. Looking forward to seeing what we're going to do with Sam. JJ's going to have his opportunity. I'm always confident in myself. Don't matter who's going to be throwing the ball. I'm going to make a play for sure. Obviously, the free agent quarterbacks that stand out are you have Darnold, you have Rodgers, you have others. Greg, what do you think the Vikings should do at quarterback?
Well, obviously, you're going to give JJ an opportunity. You got
start?
Yeah, you're going to give him an opportunity. You drafted this young man believing in his ability and who he is and what he can bring to your franchise at the quarterback position. He can run outside the pocket. He can extend plays. He can make every throw that you want him to make. I'm a big Michigan fan. I'm with you. We didn't see that at Michigan with Jim Harbaugh in the style of offense that he plays. But with what we were able to see with Sam Darnold, which you doubted, and Wilds doubted for a period of time as well, and everybody waited for him to turn pumpkin. Like, why would I not believe that he can do this same thing with a young more talented, with more ability, J.J. McCarthy, if he's healthy. If he's healthy, absolutely, we're gonna see J.J. McCarthy moving forward with the Minnesota Vikings.
Go ahead, Coach.
What I read recently is that McCarthy's on track to be participating in OTAs. And as much as it's disappointing that he got hurt, there is still a big difference between your first year and your second year, and we lose track of that as you know, on the outside looking in, whether it's getting used to the playbook, the coaches, the town, the process of playing pro football. He's had a year to do all that. Now, he didn't get the same level of field work, but at least he's adjusted to pro football. Now he's going to be back healthy. Organizationally, you want him to be successful. Now, after him, and Sam Darnold said a lot of great things about what they were able to do to unlock his potential. So I would imagine that with McCarthy, you have that same opportunity to turn him into something potentially special. So organizationally, the priority should be McCarthy, and then you get somebody, if that doesn't work out the way you want, that can hopefully, you know, put you in a position to win games.
So you guys are letting Darnold walk?
Yeah.
I think I'm franchising him or offering him a 2-year deal with the second year is like a team option or something. Like, I'm not paying him huge money, but maybe franchise him and then let them fight it out. And maybe McCarthy's not ready. You know, I'm not sure.
You don't think his end of season put such a
bad.
sour taste?
It definitely put a sour taste, but he went from essentially nothing to last year, you know, a very good season.
Fringe
you
MVP
might, so you might be thinking maybe he can now take that next step and start playing with the pressure and stuff. And maybe McCarthy beats him out. That's why I only want to do a 1-year deal franchise tag. But I just feel like I'm not ready to just hand it to J.J. McCarthy and say now the franchise.
This is where I'm going to lean on what Coach said about Kyle Shanahan in the last segment, or just a minute ago about Brock Purdy. KO has the best seat understanding what he's dealing with. Kevin O'Connell. He's seen Sam Darnold. To your point, what we saw at the end of the season, he got Coach of the Year. He had his team in a position to be successful, to make a deep playoff run. And where did they fall short? At the quarterback position.
I also think, Greg, they were ready to hand this to J.J. McCarthy as a rookie.
See, I don't.
Yeah, I think they were.
You don't think so?
See, eventually, yes.
I think last year he was going to be the starter at some point. Maybe not week one.
No question. At some point, that was always the plan.
Yeah. Can I say one other thing that's not? It's kind of on topic, but not really. I thought of it reading the Justin Jefferson quote. Justin Jefferson might be the league's only force multiplier receiver. Justin Jefferson has the exact mentality Coach wants quarterbacks to have about their receivers. Don't matter who's out there. You're paying me. I'll be the star. Like, you know, I'll get it to you. Justin Jefferson's like, and he's proven it out. Don't really matter who my quarterback is. If I'm out there, I'm going to get my 1,500 yards. I'm going to get in the end zone. I'm going to be grittying all over your defense. And I'm going to make all these quarterbacks look better than they actually are.
And why can't Daniel Jones be this year's Sam Darnold?
That's the interesting thing.
Yeah, and I think there was a reason that he went up there, you know, and spent time right after the Giants, is to maybe position, one, to get back on track, but maybe position himself to be in that Sam Darnold spot if JJ doesn't work out, where he can now revive his career with a really good team.